I'm Shauna Reed.
Hi, I'm Leva Bates.
And I like horror and wrestling.
Heck, what? I like horror and wrestling too.
Oh my gosh. You know where I go to listen to all my horror and wrestling needs?
Where?
WrestleHorror podcasts. You should try it out sometime. Check it out.
Check them out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WrestleHorror. Greetings, viewers and listeners. Meathook, Jim here, the WrestleHorror podcast. With me, as always, couldn't do it without him, my co-host, Donnie Hoover. Donnie, it is December 19th. Christmas is just around the corner. What is going on, my friend?
Oh, yeah. Let's say busy. Christmas week. Everybody's getting ready for the holidays. We were out over the weekend finishing up the last bit of our stuff, trying to get everything done so we didn't have to hustle and fight the crowds this week coming. So, so it's been busy getting things ready, getting in a holiday spirit.
Yeah, and everybody should be in the holiday spirit by now. And, you know, quite frankly, I'm a little disappointed this year, and I'll tell you why. And it's not because I don't have the holiday spirit. Last Thursday, I was diagnosed with COVID.
Uh-huh.
I'm bummed because I feel fine.
Right.
You know, it's just feels like a mild cold, but hey, I get some time off from work, and
all right. Yeah.
there is that.
Yeah, it's good it's not hitting you hard, though. So you've had both your shots, so that's probably helping, I guess.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, the downside is this is a time for friends and family, and I can't have that
right
until this is cleared up. It's like it's a double-edged sword because, you know, I want to spend time with my friends and my family. I mean, my daughter's very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't, you know, I have to talk to her over the phone or, you know, via Zoom like we're doing now.
Right.
So it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. But, you know, I'll get through it fine. Hopefully I'll sail through this. The worst I've had is a headache. I've never gotten a fever, but the test, you know, said, hey, you've got it. So here I am.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to make the best of it. And if I have to do it over video, so be it. You know, I'm used to it. We do it every week, don't we?
Right. Absolutely. It's what we do.
Yeah, and, you know, on top of that, you and I usually visit one another this time of year, and it's just not going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, I'm bummed. We'll make it happen as soon as we can, but.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Until then, it's Zoom. Zoom is safe. Zoom is, you can't transmit COVID over Zoom, thankfully.
Right. No cooties through the microphones. Can't happen.
But what a year we have had, Donnie.
Oh, yeah.
There have been things happening all year long. A lot of good, some bad, but mostly good. And wow, 2021, the year that was for WrestleHorror and New Ohio Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've had so many things. One of the biggest things was the opening of the Now Training Center.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which was a dream of yours. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, and I never really realized how good a year this has been. Like for, like I said, WrestleHorror, New Ohio Wrestling to bounce back after being stagnant for 2020, with COVID and everything. And in March and April, we decided to open up a Now Training Center. We had Big Dirty all fixed up for the 2020 Arnold, and it got taken away from us because of COVID. And so Big Dirty just sat in a garage, and we decided to open up the training center and dust her off and get her out of the garage. And it started out just, wanting to set it up to get a spot for me to get the ring out of the garage, A, and B, for me to get in the ring and get a little exercise. and it's turned into a full-blown training center. We've got a fitness program, WrestleFit, that you hear the commercial for every episode. And, we do pro wrestling training, we do fitness training, we do, we have nutrition meals, made for you meals. I mean, we have the whole kit and caboodle, and it started just from us wanting to get in the ring out of our garage. So, there's other talks down the road about the training center that I'm not at liberty to talk about yet, because we don't even know if it's going to happen or not. But if it happens, it could take the training center to the next level. So, stay tuned for that. 2022 may have some even bigger news.
Obviously, we're going to talk about this off the air.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This is just more recent, just happened. So yeah, I'll have to fill you in.
But, not only just, with WrestleFit, which is really, I mean, you've had a lot of people that are just jumping into this, and the WrestleFit Junior program as well. You got adults and kids getting out there and getting fit, and you've lost a lot of weight. I've watched you, and it's like, man, I want to be a part of this, but I'm 2 hours away.
Right. Yeah, it kind of sucks and stuff, everything going on. But yeah, like I said, at my heaviest, I was 308 pounds. And when I started the WrestleFit program, I started watching my eating. I've slacked off on eating. I still don't eat the healthiest, but I eat less portions. And then, I'm in there 3 nights a week doing the WrestleFit. And then I'm in there 1 or 2 nights a week doing some weight training. As everybody knows, Superman Onyx is our WrestleFit fitness instructor. He's the one that's creating the WrestleFit programs. So he's also made like a weightlifting, a weight training program for me to follow. So I go in there on Tuesdays and then sometimes Thursdays, Fridays, and then I get in an extra workout, but I just do strictly like weight training, no cardio or no WrestleFit or nothing like that. So it seems to be working. I'm down to 258, 260 ballpark. So I've lost close to 50 pounds, and I'm just slowly I don't think I'm going to be losing any here in the next few weeks with the holidays, and I plan on eating all the goodies and treats and all that. So I don't foresee me losing any weight here in the next couple of weeks, but we're on track.
It's amazing. And watching your weight loss, I went through a bout of that back in 2020, where I had some weight issues, and I worked with a personal trainer down here and lost about 60 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I still want to lose more. And I've started going back onto my diet, and slowly but surely it's starting to come down. If I had a program I could do like WrestleFit, I'm sure it would be quicker, but I'll take it one step at a time. Finances keep me from retaining that trainer for now, but there's things I can do at home that I'm looking up some home fitness things I can do to keep me going.
There you go.
And as a matter of fact, just walking around the warehouse when I work was helping. So I'm going to go back to doing that. Like once every hour, I'll make a couple circuits around the warehouse and get my steps in, and that helps burn those calories. But, again, this year has been so amazing. Another thing that we got to talk about, and this is more haunt related than wrestling related, is Carnage Haunted House.
Yeah. Like I said, I've been off and on, helping Carnage out for the last couple of years, and they moved to a new facility, and I'm going to say 19. It was when they moved over, and 1920, and so 2020 they started building their new haunts and all that. And we didn't get open last year, obviously, because of the COVID stuff. And then this year we actually, we did. And so it was sort of the first year of Carnage in the new building. And it was a great success. I mean, we got great reviews, there was a lot of fun, a lot of great scares, a lot of great laughs. And it was an amazing haunt season. And we just did, the Christmas version of the haunt last weekend, the 10th and 11th. And so, that was a blast too, because I'd never done one, with a haunt with a Christmas theme, and I got to be the Grinch. So, even though I was just zone captain, I was still jumping out into the haunt and jumping into some scenes, and, just anywhere I could get out, and I'd go out and mess in the queue line. And so I was still messing with people and getting them. And, but yeah, it was a great time, a lot of fun. and looking forward to next year because they're building the third one coming up. So next season we're going to have 3 haunts instead of just 2.
Well, definitely Mia has been a great partner of WrestleHorror and New Ohio Wrestling with the haunted house, and a third haunted house is just going to be great. And for those of you that don't know, Donnie mentioned our trainer Onyx. He also works at Carnage Haunted House, and if you've never seen Onyx, understand he will scare you. Let me just say that.
Yeah. This is actually his first year of haunting too, and I kind of got him into it because he'd never done haunted houses. And back when we had the trail, him and his wife came out and volunteered for us one night in Grove City when we had our trail, and he did it, and they seemed to have fun. And then once, I kept talking about Carnage and haunted house and all that. And he was like, hey, he's like, ask them if they need, more people. I'll try to stop in, see if I can't, give it a try once or twice. And he did and loved it. And he, like I said, he'd worked there. He's probably done 12 to 15 nights with us now. And he'd message me and he's like, man, thank you for introducing me to this. This is a freaking blast. And, he works in the big cemetery scene. He's like the big undertaker guy. So when he steps out in the aisleway and that you're in your path and spreads out as big and as wide as he is, you can't hardly get around him. So he's definitely an intimidating presence inside of a dark haunted house.
Well, definitely. Most people think of an undertaker as tall and slim, but not Onyx.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he is as big as wide as they come, and it's all muscle. And I wouldn't want to run into an undertaker like that in a dark cemetery at all.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And like I say, when I go through the haunt doing my zone captain stuff, I can hear, all the screams and stuff coming up over the walls. And there's usually a lot of good screams over there in the cemetery where he's at. So yeah. And he's had a blast with it. He done the Christmas ones with us, and yeah, he's having a blast. So it's fun to see other people in the wrestling business, do the crossover like we had been talking about and preaching, which is what this whole podcast is based off of. And, got the wrestlers coming into the haunt world now and just having a blast with it. So I encourage more wrestlers to try it.
It's absolutely. I'd love to see more wrestlers do it because I think they would excel at it. But, and Onyx is probably going to crush my skull for this. He won't go through a haunted house himself.
No, he's not a fan of them. He loves to be in there and getting after people, but yeah, he won't walk through them. And it's funny. Yeah, I kind of tease him, even with the lights on, because I don't have to, but as zone captain, before the lights go out and they start, I'll walk through both haunts and just kind of look on the ground, make sure there's nothing somebody can trip over, or make sure a prop isn't broken or out of place or whatever. And I just kind of do a walkthrough, and lights are completely on, there's no darkness at all. And I'm like, hey, you want to do a walkthrough with me? He's just like, nah, man, I'm good. I'll stay out here. He won't even walk through with the lights on. It's funny, man, that size. And he's just like, nah, I'm good, brother. Go on.
That's my goal. The next time I come out and haunt with you guys, I want to scare Onyx.
Yeah, that probably won't be too hard.
But
I would stay out of the arm reach. I'd stay out of that bubble. just scare and run.
I was born at night, but not last night. I am not getting within arm's reach of that man. Right. I as big as I am, he's bigger, and I no way. So moving on, May of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Squared Circle Expo in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Wow, what a show that was, huh?
Yeah, that was super exciting for us. That was a great weekend. It went it was a lot bigger and more successful than I expected it to be. So kudos to those guys.
Absolutely. I've got to give a shout out to Ed, Heather, and Adolfo. Thank you so much for bringing us on and putting on an amazing show, even though it was, quote unquote, tampered down because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The booth they gave us couldn't have been a better spot if we'd have asked for it.
Right. Yep.
Everybody everybody had to walk right by us.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You couldn't get in if you didn't. Yeah.
And we'd sit there, we'd watch superstar after superstar walk right by, and we'd wave and say hi, and it seems like Onyx knew all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But we had, Dustin Rhodes, Booker T, Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, Kevin Sullivan, Jake the Snake Roberts, who was just around the corner from us.
Mm-hmm.
Vicky Guerrero, we were on the elevator with.
Yeah.
Batista, we were on the elevator with.
Mm-hmm.
There was Dr. Britt Baker and
Yep.
Nyla Rose and
Ty Conti was there. Boogeyman.
Ty Conti.
The Handbangers.
That's still one of my favorite interviews.
Headbangers are great.
Allison Kay, Shark Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Kane came by.
Yeah.
And the list was endless, and I can't wait to see the final guest list for Squared Circle Expo 2022.
Yeah, that's on April 15th and 16th, and we've already got our booth, and we're already going to be there. Got the hotel booked and everything. That's
right. And it's the nice thing about booking in the host hotel is you never know what wrestler's going to show up in the elevator with you.
Right.
I mean, besides Vicky Guerrero and Medusa, you had Andrew Anderson.
Yeah, he gave me a big old chest chop. He started chest chopping everybody in the elevator.
And stars after stars, and they really do appreciate the fans, and that's why they're there.
Mm-hmm.
And who the headliner is going to be this year, I don't know yet, but Ed, Heather, and Adolfo are working hard on this, and they're a great team and very accommodating, and we enjoy supporting them 100%. And the only thing I can say that disappointed me about Squared Circle wasn't Squared Circle. It's the fact that I just didn't have the microphone for my camera, so we could have done video instead of audio.
Right. Well, we've got that problem fixed now.
Yes, that problem has been fixed, and everything's going to be video now. If we have to put audio off, we can, but we're going to have video going through the whole show when we do interviews and talks to them, and my favorite thing was Shauna Reed and the Boogeyman.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd say it was great on audio, but if we'd have had the video, it'd have been gold.
It would have been, because the daughter of 1,000 Maniacs, Shauna Reed, is terrified of the Boogeyman, and it showed. And if you listen to the show, you can hear her. I mean, the audio doesn't do it justice, but she was literally hiding behind me and Donnie, whatever she could do to get away from the Boogeyman. And she was genuinely scared, because when she grabbed our arms, she was gripping really tight.
Yeah. I think it was more cowering than it was hiding. She was like terrified.
And of course, I think Drew Skills had a hand in that, but
yeah. Yep.
Via Cody Hawk somewhere in there. I know Cody had a hand in there too, someplace, but, and not only that, but we got to meet some fans. We found out we had some fans down in Louisiana.
Yep.
Was it Last Podcast Standing? Isn't that the name of them?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And they came up to us and said, "Hey, we love listening to you guys." It's like, wow, somebody outside of the state listens to us. That's cool.
Right. Yeah. Who would have thunk it, huh?
Right. And, getting to meet some of the superstars, Jake the Snake Roberts was really cool, because, I went up there and got a picture with him and my wife, and he goes, "Okay, we're going to do a second picture." And he stuck up the middle fingers.
There you go.
So he was really cool about it. And, meeting some of the fans. And we even had somebody that went by our booth after everything was closed down and took a selfie in front of it. Yeah,
down there, they were closed. It was shut down the first night. And they went and sat at the table and stuff and was taking pictures in our booth, posting it on Instagram, I think it was.
Yeah. So it's like, That was a little free advertising we didn't even think was going to happen, but it did.
Right.
And it was an amazing show from start to finish. And from what we've been talking and hearing about, this next one's going to be even better and bigger.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And I won't be staying at that hotel that doesn't take MasterCard.
Right.
Dumb.
Yep.
So
yeah, you're at the main hotel with us again this time around, so you won't have to won't have to walk across no parking lots or nothing.
Nope. Don't even have to leave the building.
There you go. That's the idea.
Depends on how much alcohol it costs.
Right.
I bring it with me.
Yeah, we got wrestling bags. We can pack them full, carry them up there. There's always a way.
Oh, yeah, you've got to have, alcohol is like a given at these conventions.
Yeah. I would say you're an expert at the Midwest Haunters convention weekends, so I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started on that. So what else, Donnie? I mean, we're not even halfway through the year what we're talking about now.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah. And then, like I said, or just to touch again on the Squared Circle Expo, April 15th and 16th is when the one for this year coming 2022 is. So, get your tickets and get signed up while you can.
Definitely. And if you can get the host hotel, do it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And if you have to get the hotel across the street, they don't take MasterCard.
Nope. Yep. So beware.
Which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. But
yeah,
they took the reservation with MasterCard.
Imagine that.
But they wouldn't accept my it makes no sense.
Right.
So let's talk about, gosh,
Yeah, we could touch on for going back to the training center. One thing we did start was the Sunday Showdown events.
That's where I was going.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And it was basically a test run for us. Like I said, I've always been a fan of Georgia Championship Wrestling back in the old school days in the WCW with the studio tapings and all that. So it was kind of like it was like our version of a studio taping with the space we had. It was just a little setting where we sit like 50 people, 60 people at the most. And we ran, 3 of them, I think, 2 or 3 of them. And tested them out, and they were a lot of fun. So we'll probably do more in the future. It's just in the wintertime with the space that we have in our building, we're gauging how cold it's going to get in the winter. So far it hasn't been too bad. So, next winter, maybe we will do some more, but for the spring and summer, we're probably definitely going to be doing a little more of them. Everybody seemed to enjoy them.
And I absolutely enjoyed them, and it gives me the chance to get out there and announce more. And, and I've really, one of the most amazing and fun things I've had doing these Sunday Showdowns is my interaction with the Golden Idol, Mark Koval.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. He's a hoot. He's something else.
Him, and I can't, I'm going to do this. And I know if Jake, if you're listening, Thunderbird Jake Healy. Yeah, Jake, you can hate me all you want, but until you earn that belt, that's how I'm going to introduce you. Thunderbird Jake Healy.
Right. Yep. Yeah, rumor has it that he's going to be debuting a new Temple of Terror title now. Mark he's having a brand new one made. So that may be coming out at the Arnold this year. We don't know yet. We'll have to see. Well, if it's still irrelevant. There's not a real championship, but at least he's going to have one.
and again, it'll be, ladies and gentlemen, Thunderbird Jake Healy.
All right.
And I am not going to let him go until he and I wrestle for the belt.
Yeah, right. There you go.
And if I pin him, then I'm the Temple of Terror champion.
There you go.
But the Sunday Showdowns, a great reception, really. Packed houses all 3 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was great to see the fans out there. The Now Nation was missing the shows, and it was great to see them come out and support. And the enthusiasm and the energy in the crowd was great.
Oh yeah, Yeah, they were getting involved. They weren't sitting on their hands, and that's what we wanted. And it was just a little intimate, fun setting. I think it made it a little more funner for the fans because they were basically right up against the ring, pretty much. Right close to it, and there was only one side that they could sit on, so it was enclosed in, and it was more personal, I guess. More close, more personal, interactive. So it was a lot of fun, I thought.
It was. And, on the third show, we actually introduced the WrestleHorror Championship.
Yeah. Yeah. We broke the WrestleHorror title out and showed it off. And which we'll have that sucker at the Arnold again this year for sure. We'll have it sitting out for sure. So, yeah, it got a good reception. Everybody liked it as well.
Yes, very much so. And, definitely if you get a chance to come out to the Arnold, you will see this. It is my favorite title belt out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But just because it's WrestleHorror and, the Golden Idol tried to steal it, and I straightened him up real quick on that one.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't happening.
Oh, he's lucky he walked away with his Temple of Terror title.
All right. I mean, he can't have a belt that's got Meathook's face on it.
Nope. Got Meathook's and Donnie's face on it.
Yep.
It's got you too.
Yep.
So, gosh, I'm looking forward to more Sunday showdowns. But let's talk about another big piece of news, and that was the Obetz Haunt this year. Yeah,
that was surprising, and that came from off the cuffs of the Zucchini Fest, which we'll talk about. And but yeah, the Obetz Haunt. I had talked about it with people there for the city of Obetz for a year or two now, and of course, just like with everything else, COVID put all the ideas and plans and talks on hold. But after the Zucchini Fest and how happy they were with our performance and everybody's performance, they had mentioned that they wanted to do their haunt because they do like a little Halloween thing for the village or for the city. Now we're now a city, but they do a thing for the city every year where people they give out free candy and they do like a little miniature haunted house type thing, and the kids have fun. They have like car shows and food trucks and just little mini festival for one night. So they asked if we would, if we'd be willing to come on board and help with it. And being, we have the background in haunted houses, obviously. And then I have sort of a small or similar background building a haunt, outside like we did with our trail, in Grove City. And then, the best thing, and the most important thing is the connections that I had in haunting to where I could reach out to people like you and Mike and everybody else and get advice, get help, and put this together. We agreed to do it. So we probably had 4 weeks and, in limited days, we couldn't be there all the time. So we had about 4 weeks to get a full haunted house ready. And they, it was moved underneath the bleachers of Zucchini Fest or the Obetz Fortress football stadium. So it was a big sized area. And the Obetz crew was fantastic in helping out. And because they've had experience building it themselves. And now we came in to kind of take it to the next level and spice it up and give them, we brought in some props and lighting and stuff of our own to add to it. And it turned out to be a huge success. We probably had, like you said, about 1,000 people go through. Didn't have any complaints about the haunt at all. Everybody loved it. Everybody had a blast. There was tons of screams to be heard. There was lots of candy bags that were found in the haunt from where kids were so scared they dropped their candy bags and ran. so a lot of candy bags were collected, and but yeah, it was a great success, and we're going to be doing it again, in 2022. They've already said they want to meet with us in January after the holidays, and we're going to start making plans for next year. So it's going to be a great thing for us, something that added on to the WrestleHorror family. And, we had the Obetz Haunt for the Grove City Haunt for a couple of years to trail. And then, with the property being sold and all that, we were unable to continue, doing our haunt there. So now we're working with Obetz and putting their haunt together. So, I'm excited to see where it's going to go.
The sky's the limit with this haunt, and I'm really glad that they reached out to you and everything. But let me, I jumped ahead of myself. Let's back up to Zucchini Fest.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we had been trying to get into Zucchini Fest for a couple years now, and for people that don't live in Columbus or Ohio, the Zucchini Fest is just like a fair, like a fair festival, a fair. They have the rides, the food trucks, the games, they have like the parades, the contest, all that stuff. They bring in name bands for concerts and stuff, and so it's a pretty big deal for us here in the city of Obetz. So it's, and I'd been trying to get the wrestling show in there since we opened the doors in 2015. And, it was just building those relationships. And so finally, the mayor of Obetz reached out to us and said, hey, we want to, I'm going to put you in touch with our person here. We want to bring wrestling in. You're local, you're a resident, it only makes sense. And, it helps that we had the Arnold under our belt and the High State Fair under our belt already, because it gave us some credibility. And, also it gave us the knowledge on how to do these events and pull them off. So, we come to an agreement with them and went into the Zucchini Fest and did 10 matches, a 10-match show, and killed it. And everybody loved it. The whole town loved it. The mayor got into the ring and said some good words and stuff for us. And everybody, had nothing but positive stuff to say. And even the guy that runs the Obetz Fortress said that he told me here recently that we did such a good job and had, pretty much stole the show on that Sunday or that Monday of the Zucchini Fest. He said that we've pretty much, barring another COVID outbreak or anything silly, that we've pretty much solidified our spot in the Zucchini Fest for years to come, based on our performance alone for that Zucchini Fest. So, we're very grateful and honored to be a part of it, and proud to put it on, and, looking forward to next year's.
I definitely was proud to be a part of it. And it was 11 matches, not 10. I know.
Oh, 11 matches. Okay. Excuse me.
Just because I know that's the most I've announced in one string without a break.
Oh yeah. Well, you would know that then. So maybe it was 11.
But it was amazing. You had you booked some great talent, and the matches were fun, and the crowd was getting into it. And, it was funny because at one point in time I was told to tone it down because a couple of other places that were putting on shows were complaining that we were stealing all the people. Yeah,
we were being a little loud, and the other vendors, or not vendors, but the other events that were going on, I guess they'd be called, was not appreciative that we had, like we had basically stole the show, like they had said we did. But it is what it is.
We were just doing what we do. We weren't doing anything beyond that. I mean, we put on a show. We're there to put on a show. Mm-hmm. We're there to entertain. And if people want to see us over them,
that's their choice. Yeah,
exactly. People love pro wrestling, and some people on the surface will say, "Oh, no," but secretly they do like pro wrestling, and that's why they stop and watch.
Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of closet fans,
Yeah.
And like I said, I'd recently had another meeting with the Obetz Fortress people, and they said that next year they're either going to put us in a different spot, or they're going to get us a bigger tent, because they wasn't completely happy with how the tent was a little bit low. The tent could have been higher so that, more people could have stood around and seen it. And, the wrestlers could have done more up top on the ropes and stuff. So, so they understood that. And, that I appreciate that from them as well, that they're, going to try to see what they can do to, fix that problem that they said was a problem, and get us a more height to work with, so to speak.
Will be good for some of our high flyers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it really was a lot of fun. And we had, one of my favorite matches was Jake Shepard versus Eric Smalls.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was a winner for sure. The crowd was loving that.
It was. And for listeners and viewers, Jake Shepard's about 6'4", probably about 450.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Smalls is about 3'3", 6 and about 180. Just picture that and those two going at it.
Oh yeah.
And Eric Smalls won, by the way.
Yeah, right. Got the W.
It was and there were other matches. We had some female matches. The women killed it.
Oh yeah.
Everybody killed it that day. It was really entertaining, and you listen to people talking about how much they enjoyed it. And I listened to fans getting into it. And at one point in time, I was sitting there in my position, and there was a fan sitting next to me that said something like, "Oh my God, is he going to eat him?" Referring to Jake Shepard and Eric Smalls.
Mm-hmm.
I almost busted out laughing when she said that.
Oh
yeah. Another feather in the cap for New Ohio Wrestling, because you were able to get into that, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like I said, it's been a great year, and I hadn't really sat back and thought about everything that we've accomplished this year until we started making our list today and writing down what we were going to talk about in this year-end review. And after I looked at the list, I'm just like, holy crap, man, it's like we've gained a lot of ground and got a lot accomplished and stuff, so it's pretty proud moments here, for sure.
Well, it's a lot of hard work. You and Terry and the whole team,
mm-hmm.
They put a lot into this, and, hard work gets you things, and you've proven that, Donnie. I mean, it's not just handed to you on a silver platter. Oh
no, yeah, we've paying our dues, that's for sure. But like you said, it ain't just us. I mean, yeah, we've sacrificed our time, our family, our finances, everything we've had to sacrifice to get where we are. But a lot of people sacrifice stuff just as much, to help us out to get us there. And, like I said, without all the people that stepped up, like you and everybody else within the companies of WrestleHorror, with the Haunts, with, and New Ohio Wrestling, with the training center, if it wasn't for all those people that stepped in and done their part, we wouldn't be getting all the stuff that we're getting. So, it's kudos to everybody for putting in the work.
Did 2020 take its toll on your fitness? Well, body slam the pandemic and get back in shape with WrestleFit. This innovative program combines all the fitness regimens you'll need to reach your goals. The WrestleFit workout will bring strength training, cardio, and the world of professional wrestling together in a fun, new, and exciting way. Have yourself a blast working out with dumbbells, kettlebells, slam balls, ropes, tires, and an 18-foot full-size wrestling ring. The WrestleFit workout isn't just for pro wrestlers. The WrestleFit workout is for everybody. At the Now Training Center, you can pursue your fitness goals and learn how to train like a professional wrestler without all the bumps, bruises, and slams with the WrestleFit workout. Go to www.newohiowrestling.com/training for more information, or stop by the Now Training Center at 625 Eastgate Parkway, Blacklick, Ohio, 43004, Unit 6137.
So what's next up on the list? I mean, I'm looking at a couple of things here. I don't know which way you want to go next, but we've got Catco. What is Catco? What is that all about?
Yeah, Catco is basically our version of live theater, live plays here in Columbus. And they are doing a play called Luchadora. And it's basically, just like it sounds, it's a play about a female luchador, a teenage girl that's ends up in a wrestling match, honoring her father and stuff like that. So it's called Luchadora, and it's from February 17th and March 6th. And they had reached out to us out of the blue because of the training center. Like I said, everything, one thing, leads to another. All these doors open when you put in the work. And they asked, if we would come on as fight choreographers and stuff like that, me and actually Superman Onyx. And then, Terry's helping us out too, because she has a lot of knowledge, with stuff like this. So, we're coming on as fight choreographers and stuff for this play. And Catco is a big deal here in town. They get a lot of credibility, they're well respected, and they put on excellent performances and stuff like that. So we're really looking forward to helping out with this. We actually had a meeting with them today and was going over like set design and trying to figure out where we would place like the ring part of it and, this and that. And then, one of our former NOW stars, Espiritu Maya, is actually going to be a part of this play as well. He's involved as one of the luchadors. So, yeah, it's really exciting. I've never done anything like this. It's like a Broadway type play. I've never been involved with anything like this. So I'm excited to get in there and see how it all works and, look at another version of live performance in a different, spectrum. So, yeah, so I'm kind of excited for it.
So are they going to have are they going to have a ring?
No, that's what we were talking about today, because the stage isn't near big enough. Because if we would have, I'd have had Big Dirty in there in a heartbeat to help him out. But the stage just isn't nearly big enough. It's kind of a smaller stage. It's like old Georgia Championship Wrestling. It's like a studio setting. There's a stage, and then there's like bleachers with folding chairs, and they got the lights all hanging down like TV studios. I mean, it's like a small setting. So we're modifying and going to build a makeshift ring to go with that, to where they can do their actual moves. I mean, they're not going to be full blown matches. It's just going to be some fighting. There's going to be a full blown match type thing at the end of the play, but throughout the play, it's just going to be, little spots here and there where they need, a setting of a ring. So, so that's what we were there today for, to kind of try to place things out and, give advice to where we would, put everything. But, no like full blown ring, but, it's still going to be exciting to see and they showed us a first print of their set design, and it reminds me just like a Lucha Underground. I mean, it looks friggin' phenomenal. And, they're going to have like a big display. It's going to be a street scene where they're going to have a display of Lucha masks, like on sale, like you walk down the street and buy a Lucha mask off the street, and then they're going to have the ring there. And it reminds, like, first thing Onyx said when he saw the picture, he's like, man, that looks like Lucha Underground type stuff. And I was like, it does. So, I mean, we're really excited to see how this turns out. Like I said, I've never been a part of anything like this, so it's pretty interesting for me.
Excellent. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And like I said, it's helping out a good cause, like these plays, they're a dying art, just, like a lot of other things, and people still have love and passion for them. So, to be able to help out and do our small part to make a successful play that people like to come and enjoy, is going to be, fulfilling for us as well.
So before we get to the Arnold 2022, which we've touched on a couple of times, what is this Obetz right?
Yeah, I recently sat down, like I've mentioned, with Obetz Fortress again, and we're having talks, and they are actually coming on as a sponsor, a headlining sponsor for the Arnold for us. So, we're excited and proud to have them, and glad to have them with us. They're going to have a little table booth, spot where we're going to be at, and they're going to be, talking about the Obetz Fortress and because the Obetz Fortress is an amazing facility, phenomenal. And so there's so much that can be done with the Fortress, and people, like a lot of people, like with the training center, the marketing's not out there yet because it's still new. And so a lot of people don't know that the Obetz Fortress even exists. So they're, going to be with us at the Arnold and to push what they can offer to all these sporting events and athletics and stuff like that. So, and during talking, and, since the success of the Zucchini Fest and since the success of the Obetz Haunt, and, we've basically went in there and worked our butts off and showed them that we're, professional in each and every way, because it's important to them, like also a family friendly type atmosphere, because they're, an actual city, you gotta keep it clean, but they do bike nights and stuff where they have like bike, like every Thursday night, to where they have bike nights where bikes come in and they have like food trucks and you can drink and eat and do whatever, have music. And they're doing something different this coming year. They're not going to do like a full blown bike night to where all the bikes, come in. But every Thursday they want to do the similar thing to where they have, like some food trucks and, they got the 2 bars up in the foyer opened up, and, they have the bars open, and they have like bands come in, play music, and they have, events and stuff going on out on the parking lot, stuff like car shows and, like a bikes and stuff coming in. So he brought up the idea of, they're going to do 17 Thursdays, like from starting in spring when weather permitting. And 2 of those 17 Thursday nights, they want to bring New Ohio Wrestling in to where we set up the ring. And then we do like a match or two in between sets of the bands. Like, so when the band's playing, after they're done with their set, we do a match or two, and then the next band takes the stage. And then they do their stuff, and then, you know, kind of like that. So we agreed to come in and do the 2 nights for them just to try it out. And, you know, hopefully it works out. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. So it's basically going to be like a miniature Zucchini Fest on a smaller level. And, but we're going in coming up in 2022 for 2 Thursday nights, and we're going to give it a shot and see how it turns out.
Okay, if your ring announcer slurs.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it is. We'll film it, but this won't be you know, if it's bike night, and, you know, kind of, well, you know, whatever they end up calling it, it may not be called bike night anymore, but whatever they end up calling it, and if it's alcohol permitted and it's an adult theme type of thing, which are still going to have kids and stuff there, then, you know, yeah, we'll let it slide.
I'll tell you, you know, if I'm ring announcing at a bike night, I'm down to have a beer in my hand someplace.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't fault you for that. I'll probably have one myself.
The language might get a little colorful.
Yeah. Come to the ring or somewhere. I don't know.
This big son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, yeah, well, now the city of Obetz is really just taken a liking to you in many different aspects. And
oh yeah. Yeah. Like I said, we couldn't be any more proud and blessed for it. You know, they've come on and really supported us. And, you know, like I said, you know, we've been residents here since 2004. So, you know, we've been here a long time, and, you know, they like to keep things, you know, they like to support the community, and they do a lot of stuff for our towns, our city, and a lot of stuff for the kids and for the adults. And there's a lot of programs that they have available. And, you know, they have good money coming in, and they're not afraid to use it, which is another great thing. So, yeah, they're being very gracious, and we're proud and happy with the results, and we're going to keep working hard to, you know, keep giving them what they want.
Well, we can't round out this episode without talking about the Arnold 2022, which we discussed at length on our last show.
Mm-hmm.
But this one's different from the ones we've done before.
Yeah. Yeah. The previous Arnolds, we've been at the Kids and Teens Expo and at the fairgrounds and stuff, the Ohio State Fairgrounds. And it's basically is what it sounds like. It was a Kids and Teens Expo. So we were there, and there was a lot of families, a lot of kids. And then, you know, we did that weekend while the main Arnold, the Arnold Classic and the Arnold Sports Festival happened over at the convention center, which is where it originates at. And, you know, where everybody, when you think of Arnold that knows the Arnold, they think convention center, you know, so excuse me here. And so with COVID, all this and that and everything, it, you know, messed us out of it, screwed us out of it last year. You know, as we explained, you know, long story short, they've put Kids and Teens Expo on the shelf. And for now, until they get things back rolling again and this whole pandemic blows over. So, you know, they've invited us. So I thought we were going to be out of the running, but they've and reached out to us and invited us to the main Arnold Sports Festival over at the convention center. So we're basically move over in there. We're going to be right in the middle of everything. We're in Exhibit Hall A, which I think is on the main floor, but to the right. And so, yeah, it's a big deal. And so we're, yeah, like I said, we're going to be right in the thick of everything. And so, yeah, we're excited for it. It's March 4th through the 6th, and we're going to be doing 5 wrestling events. We're going to be doing WrestleFit classes. We're going to be doing our OPWA pro wrestling training classes so people can see, you know, a little bit of our training. We're going to be doing like a meet and greet where you can meet some of the wrestlers and take pictures with them in the ring. And I mean, we have, you know, like a lot of cool stuff planned. So, yeah, like I said, another blessing, you know, like I said, with the Kids and Teens Expo being put on the shelf, I thought we were pretty much screwed, but, you know, thankfully they liked once again, the whole team went into the Kids and Teens Expo and killed it, and people took notice. And, so they want us to come over to the main stage, so to speak.
And this is really amazing because, as we discussed previously, and for those of you that didn't hear that show, there's only one other professional wrestling promotion, sports entertainment promotion,
mm-hmm.
that has been on the main floor of the Arnold. That is the WWE.
Yeah. Yep. We're the first independent and non-WWE company to ever accomplish it.
So that is a huge, huge feather in the cap of a pro wrestling company. Notice I said pro wrestling and not sports entertainment.
There you go.
It is pro wrestling, no matter how you slice it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what Vince says.
Right.
It's professional wrestling, not sports entertainment.
Yep.
And New Ohio Wrestling is in a very elite group, being the only indie organization to do this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you go on the Arnold Sports Festival site, like previous years, you would go into the expos and there would be a kids and teens expo. And then, it was real hard to find our name and stuff like that. So you would see like wrestling, or they would say Now Wrestling and this and that. And then, but now if you go on the sports site and you go under the, the expo and the events, one of the actual categories, you have a category of all the events going on at the Arnold Sports Festival, and they actually have a pro wrestling category now. And they have, it's not all the way updated. So if you click on it, there's, our information's not there yet, but we're getting all of our information to them, what they need. And then so before, the Arnold starts, there's going to be an actual new category called pro wrestling. You click on it, it's going to be all about New Ohio wrestling. So that's, it's kind of like, oh shit, it's kind of, it's getting real now, once you see it on the actual website as in, we're our own category, it's kind of like, all right, you get the butterflies kind of kick in a little bit. You get a little nervous once you see it, but like I said, I'm grateful for it and we're ready for the challenge. And I know everybody's going to kick butt like they always do. And so, yeah, I'm pumped.
It's getting real.
Oh yeah.
And, on top of that, a lot of celebrities and people in the fitness world and the pro wrestling world go to the Arnold Sports Festival.
Oh, yeah. It's from what they say, the term is it's asses to elbows in there through the whole weekend. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of eyes on us. So we may need to make a lot of noise like we did at the Zucchini Fest and get some complaints so we can get some heads turned.
And you never know who's going to show up at the ring because, wrestlers like Mark Henry have attended to Arnold, as well as Arnold himself, Alexa Bliss from the WWE.
Yep, Triple H shows up there.
Triple H, Josh Matthews, Madison Rayne.
Oh, yeah.
You never know who's going to be there, who's watching,
Right. Like I always say, it just takes the right person at the right time and the right atmosphere and scenario, to open up that door.
The Republican National.
So, yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. And, we're excited and, we're going to be ready. And, of course, like I said, the WrestleHorror belt's going to be on display and we're crowning new tag team champions. And we're considering we're looking into it. We're having the design made, but being at the Kids and Teens Expos on the shelf and Onyx is the Arnold Kids and Teens Expo champion, we're having a Arnold Sports Festival belt made. And if we can get it ready by March, we may present that to the current champion Onyx, or, it may just be something that we use for a tournament next year and see if he can retain that title or if he's, if somebody else is going to win, the tournament. So, a lot of interesting thing with that. So, there's a lot of like history making stuff happening for our company, New Ohio Wrestling. And so we're pumped for it and we're ready for it. And, like I said, it's going to be a lot of work, but you know how all of us are, everybody on the team, we're used to hard work and we're ready for it.
Absolutely. You don't get anything without hard work. And, you've done it in spades, man. You've done so much this past year, who'd have thunk? Right.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing year in spite of everything. Doors have opened up, NOW, WrestleHorror, everybody's getting out there right now. And they're being recognized and appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just going to go uphill from here. This is just the beginning. This is the groundwork.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like I said, that, and everything happens for a reason, like I said, the hard work is where it's at. I mean, like I said, I'm looking at this list of what what has happened and what we've accomplished this year. And, everything ties into everything else. I mean, it's just like our first big win was getting into the Arnold. And then, 3 years ago. And then, from the Arnold, we were able to get the Ohio State Fair, which will possibly, if they open up the Ohio State Fair, we'll be back there in 2022 because we've already got a contract signed with them for 2020 that they're going to honor when they open back up the fair. So we may be back at the Ohio State Fair next year, and then from the Ohio State Fair and from the Arnold, we were able to, get noticed with the Zucchini Fest and the people there from where we kept posting all these. So the Zucchini Fest finally came through and gave us a shot, and then we had the training center. From the training center, Catco reached out to us because we were, we had a spot where they could train their actors, and then from Zucchini Fest come the Obetz Haunt, come Obetz Bike Night. Like all this stuff all ties in together. And, because of the Kids and Teens Expo success, now we're on the main stage at the convention center for the sports festival, just like, and it just proves my theory of the right person at the right place at the right time. And, you work hard and, doors are going to open. So, this list, I can take this list and just draw it even with Carnage, because we had the trail in Grove City, that opened up the door for Carnage to work with me because, they also liked wrestling and we needed to get Big Dirty done. So they offered up their space, in our old haunt for us to rebuild Big Dirty and refurbish her. So, I mean, it all ties together. It's just, you just got to put in the work and get it out there. And like I said, not only all of us are reaping the benefits, but the fans are too, because, the haunt fans, the wrestling fans, they're all having a blast with it. And hopefully the people that like plays and come see Luchadora, the Catco play, is going to enjoy that as well. I'm sure they will.
If it wasn't for the fans, we wouldn't have anything.
Right. Yeah. It wouldn't be worth doing.
Right. You got to keep the fans happy, and they're happy in spades. Let's keep it going. I mean,
right. Yeah. And like I said, after we knock all this stuff out, who's to say what other doors, we're going to be on the main stage at Arnold, like we keep saying. Right person, right time, right scenario. Who's going to notice us, or what door is that going to open? You know what I mean? You never know.
Right. You never know. They might find out that I'm a pretty good ring announcer.
There you go. We might see you on Monday nights, or Tuesdays or Wednesdays or Thursdays or Fridays, the way it is now.
You won't see me at Vince's promotion because I'm not pretty.
Right.
But
yeah.
Who knows? I mean, I throw that out tongue in cheek just because I do, but you never know what opportunities are going to present themselves. And especially for the talent that's working with New Ohio Wrestling. And, that's what I'm hoping for, is they can showcase themselves.
Oh yeah.
Just bigger promotions and get some doors open for them and some opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that would be a huge feather in my cap as well. It would make me proud as could be if like somebody got signed to WWE or AEW and, when they got interviewed and say, how did you get discovered or how did you get signed? They say, well, so-and-so discovered me or saw me at the Arnold, wrestling at the Arnold. And that's how they found me, something like that. That would make everything we're doing worth it. If somebody got signed and changed their lives forever because they were able to perform at the Arnold and saw what we were able to offer them.
Right. So Donnie, it's, wow, we've been talking about this for a while, and, it's been an amazing 2021 for New Ohio Wrestling, for WrestleHorror, for the company at large. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, I didn't really realize it because, like I said, we just keep moving. We don't really take a breath and sit back and think about it. But then, like I said, when we were creating this list to talk about the year in review today, I was, like, holy crap, we got a lot of shit done this year. And it makes me even prouder,
It does, and I am proud for you, and I'm proud to be a part of it. And, let's see what 2022 brings us, because I think it's just going to be opening more doors.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I say, we got a lot of wrestling plans planned out. We got a lot of, haunted house plans planning out. We're starting to dip our toe into some more paranormal stuff. And, I'm going to break my cherry on some paranormal stuff coming up next year and looking forward to that. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be a great year. I'm ready for it. Let's go.
Yeah. And I told you before we started I was going to mention that, but thanks for bringing it up because I almost closed out without saying it. But as far as I would just throw this, it's going to be very brief, I promise.
Well, we should probably pause and just let them say it for us.
Yeah. Okay. I know it. I'm not going to say anything. You guys know what I'm talking about. Conjuring House. That's all I'm going to say.
Right. Yeah. And I still want to get some more in. We still got to do FGW and Carnage, and I want to get to that fourth floor you guys keep talking about every time we turn around.
Beverly Hills. We got to do it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Even if we have to do the 2-hour tour, it's better than nothing.
It's all right. I'll be Gilligan's Island. Don't matter to me.
All right. Well, with that being said, I am Meathook Jim with my co-host Donnie Hoover. Thank you so much for joining us on this wrap up of the 2021 WrestleHorror year.
Yeah, they may enjoy us. You never know. They probably would never admit it.
Right. Yeah. And if you do, let us know. Email us, WrestleHorror@gmail.com.
Yep.
And if you don't enjoy us, you can email Vince McMahon. I don't care.
Right.
But thank you for listening and watching. We will catch you one more episode before next year.
Yep. Yeah. Everybody have a great holiday and Merry Christmas to everyone. And I hope it goes well.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays, everybody.
Yep. See you guys.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media outlets. Facebook.com/WrestleHorror. Instagram @WrestleHorror. Twitter @WrestleHorror. On YouTube at the WrestleHorror channel. And you can also find us on our website, www.WrestleHorror.com.